Hello everyone, my name is de-Vreede from the University of South Florida. Welcome to HICSS TV, and I'm here today with two of our 2018 doctoral fellows, Emira Zifla from Temple University and John Correia from Washington State University. Welcome. We'd like to hear a little bit about the two of you, what you've been up to, what you're doing, and your experiences at the DC.
I am Emira Zifla. I come from Temple University, and it was a pleasure to attend the HICSS Doctoral Consortium this year. My main work focuses on social interactions among consumers and sellers in e-commerce, and I was very pleased to discuss my work with the mentors and fellows here.
I'm John Correia from Washington State University, and this consortium's been great. I got some really good feedback on a project that I'm working on around mindful use of technology. So it was really good to get both of the mentors' ideas, feedback, and also the others around the table on specific aspects of the project that I needed some help with, and got some really good encouragement to take the next steps.
Yeah, maybe you can share with us a little bit about how did the consortium go? What was the structure, the program, the different things that you did in your team and with all the other fellows?
I liked that we got to read everybody's paper before we got into the discussions, so everybody knew everybody else's paper, and then the students had feedback about the paper, and then the mentors added onto it, and I think that was very, very valuable.
Yeah, it was really nice, like she mentioned, the ability to read a condensed version of the paper to where you can really think deeply about it, and you don't have to spend too much time reading a longer version, and then taking the time to sit around the table and allow each of us to pitch our project for 2 to 5 minutes, and then allow the students to then, the other students to ask questions about things that they're curious about, and finally ending with the advisor's kind of feedback off of the students' input, and also further questions related to our project. And after we got into our small groups, it was nice that we ended the consortium with a panel discussion that allowed us to ask specific questions about different aspects, not about just research, but all of academia in general. And it was a really good, lively discussion. I wish we had actually more time.
Yeah. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that panel. What were the things that stood out for you?
The discussions after the paper discussions. I think that it was good to see both the micro world of working on a paper and what are the nuts and bolts that need work on a specific paper, and then it was really great to be able to zoom out, and we don't just work on a paper, but we are part of a community, and we have other things that we need to think about when we are in this profession. So we learn how to network, we learn how to hunt for a job, what things employers are looking for. So it was really good to get the professor's perspective on that too.
What stood out in the panel for you, John? Were there any specific takeaways that you will take home and you will think about as you move forward with your research and your career?
It's maybe a little bit of a different response than what you would expect, but with Dr. Roman Beck, when he mentioned kind of the opportunity that we have to be part of the consortium, and how lucky we are to be a part of that, and how we need to leverage that moving forward, and also later on when we get into kind of the status along with a lot of our advisors, to look back and see about ways in which we can open this opportunity up to others who maybe are less likely or less able to attend these consortiums. I think that's going to be an interesting way to integrate that in, because there's so many great ideas out there, and the consortium was so beneficial to our future as well. So trying to be more inclusive in future.
Now the conference is about to wrap up, so you have to go back home, and you're working on your dissertation research. So if there's one thing that you take out of this consortium that may change the way you look at your dissertation, or change the way you will go about being an academic from now on, if there's one thing that you have to pick out, what would that be?
I think, and John could probably agree with me, in our group discussion there was one thing that one of our mentors mentioned about looking at the projects we work on. So he suggested this analogy of looking at a project as a play where you have to think of what you're looking at and explain it in terms of actors and characters and how things interrelate with each other. And I think that's really good, not only for thinking about your own project and positioning it, but also disseminating it to other people, because part of the work we do is not just we don't write for ourselves, we write for other people. So it's very, very important to think about how to make your work relatable and in a way that it connects with other people and they understand it well. So I think that will stay with me for a long time.
Yeah. So you're going to turn all your project into stories and plays now. Okay, what about you, John?
That was going to be the answer that I was going to choose, because that was a really good analogy and that kind of will help me in the future when I get back to writing. But I'd also say I'm using these conferences as a way to test out ideas and get some reviewer feedback. But also while you're presenting, there's ideas across the board here at the conference, and it's really opened me up to different ways of thinking of similar problems, and using future conferences to test ideas, present data, and I can definitely see how a lot of these papers will move on towards high-tier publications, and really using this as a tool towards that. And then also, you know, many of the senior scholars like yourself are very approachable here. That's very nice, being able to go up and introduce yourself and get to know people and get feedback, and maybe have future discussion as we join the academia.
So what are your plans for the next conference? Because this was the first step, but we're hoping to see you back. Do you have any ideas, any plans that you're going to work on?
Hopefully the next time I will come here, I will be as a faculty member, because I'm about to graduate. I have actually a project in progress that I'm about to complete soon, so I think I'm going to submit that to HICSS, and probably that's going to be what I'm going to present. It's a project on online health communities, so I think I'm going to submit that to the healthcare track.
Very good. And what about you, John?
Since I'm a third-year student, my paper was less polished without data, so the feedback that I got from my advisors and also others here, looking forward to collect data on that in the spring, and hopefully have that ready for submission in middle of June for the next HICSS to maybe have something a little bit closer towards publication.
Okay, great. Well, to wrap up, is there anything you want to say to people that are considering submitting to the consortium next year or the years after, that are considering to become part of this endeavor?
I would definitely recommend being part of this. I was very, very pleased with the feedback that I received on my work, and also being able to see both the fellow students and mentors' perspective on work. So it's a great opportunity to get feedback on your paper, and also get the bigger picture of what we do in our community as academics. So I think it's a great opportunity for everyone, and they should definitely consider it.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I think it's the consortium has a nice balance between casual interaction with other students and faculty, and also something very precise with an actual project. It's not like our large dissertation. It's a condensed submission to where we can get hands-on feedback on a project that's more towards like a paper and less towards the larger dissertation. So I think the mix between being able to get to know people and also talk about a specific project that you'd like to push towards publication is a great balance, and something that maybe during my fourth year I'd be a part of as well.
Excellent. Well, Emira, John, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you here, not on this island, but on the next island in 2019.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.